Hi there, Rudolf here from Omni Systems. Little update on Eufloria Classic. Maybe a show and tell could be nice. I mentioned before that the anniversary release of Eufloria Classic, will have some new game modes. One of them is called Regrowth, and here's an example of a level. I know it looks a little bit dry like this, but it's real. And the idea of the level is that in Regrowth, you know what, I'll show you. At the moment I'm testing them through a custom level menu in which you can actually load any modded level if you want, which is nice for when it comes out. But let's pop it up and hope it doesn't crash. It doesn't. Okay, so yes, in Regrowth, the trees are ill. There's a disease. Trees can die, which normally doesn't happen in Eufloria except from damage. Well, now they die from old age, which is a problem, especially in this area, in this level, because I've made it so that almost no flowers grow, and flowers are required to protect trees from this disease. So what do we do? Well, the mission is to seek help. You start here, some random asteroid. I've made it so that you have at least one flower protecting you. But the other tree, once it's fully grown, will actually die. The disease will start to take effect. So you have a certain amount of time in which to act. And as often with this game, you should scout. If you have the scouts to spare, to see what's around you. Oh, I can't reach that one quite. That one, yes. Let's have a look. Okay, we have a few grey enemies over here. Oh, these days we have speed up buttons. That's looking pretty good. And that's looking slightly more dangerous, although these enemies are puny. Look at the stats on this asteroid, not very scary. But the problem is, like I said, trees will die. Look at this one, it's already dying. It actually should play a sound. That's odd. There you go. It's not a very nice sound. So what I can do is, this tree is safe as long as a flower grows on it, but that's a bit of a waste. I have a strategic choice to make. Am I going to plant a flower to protect, well, that one's gone now. Should I protect this tree or send it to another asteroid? This has amazing stats. This has pretty good stats. I think what I'll do is I'll send them all here, conquer this asteroid, and then send the flower there to make sure that this one at least is protected. This one will die soon now. There you go, it's already struggling. Let's plant a flower, or a tree I should say. Again, the tricky thing is, this tree will have only a limited lifespan, and since almost no flowers grow in this region of space, I have to find ways to keep my little empire alive, because without trees everything ends. So in this case, I'm sending this flower here. It will now be able to plant it. Here we go. And it is now an enhanced tree, or at least it will be in a sec. It's a little bit hard to see, but the seedlings that grow on here now, they should glow. But most importantly, they're just much stronger. They're called super seedlings. Right, so this is like the opening stages. I think there are some issues with this level from the last time I checked. I made it so that there's at least one asteroid of the greys that is visible from the start, to create a bit of fear. This actually does look quite scary, because they might start moving, of course. At the moment, they're just waiting. I'm telling them to wait, but after a while they will start exploring and attacking other asteroids. Here you go, one scout has been sent out. No idea what they're finding here. One issue is weird. I've hidden a bunch of player asteroids, made them so that enemies can't see them either. The player shouldn't know this, so I have no idea why this particular one is visible to everyone. I can hear trees dying in the background, that's a bit sad. And the idea being that if you explore, you can find resources. In this case, look at all these nice little flowers that you can use to protect your trees. Hence the earlier message telling people to explore and seek help. There should be other asteroids like that. And if you're not careful, you're going to end up with very few trees, while in the background, here we go, other empires are doing their thing. They're all together for some reason. That's interesting with procedural generation. Look, these guys are expanding their empire. So it is dangerous, but I've got some bugs. And I haven't found any allies yet. If we say that this one really isn't discovered, let's pretend that that's the case. So how do I use my resources? I can't just plant loads of trees and create a huge army, because I don't have the flowers to protect those trees. And that's where the slightly different strategy comes into play when it comes to this particular game mode, which is quite fun. I like it. Also, I make it so that if you get rid of all the greys who are the source of this disease and this level, the disease is reversed, and you can start to play a normal game again where, for example, you could just take over all the asteroids in the level to win. So that's the thinking behind it. I think I'll be putting out this level soon to playtesters, maybe later today, to see how hard it really is. It's not very balanced at the moment yet. And like I said, I've got a few weird bugs, like why can I even see this asteroid? I shouldn't be able to see it. Let's pretend it's not visible. Other things as well, like, see this? I just clicked a random undiscovered asteroid, but there's a button that means that actually there's allies on there. You don't get that button on other asteroids. Well, that needs fixing, really. But if we pretend that we didn't see that, one thing we can do is take enough seedlings to conquer this asteroid. Let's speed it up a bit more. Boop, boop, boop. Look at them. Plant a tree. And while this tree won't be protected right now, it gives me the range to reach this particular asteroid. And if I go there, ta-da! Look, we have resources. I can now take this flower, send it here, quickly protect this tree. Or I could decide, because this is a much more powerful asteroid, to plant another tree there, send the flower over here and protect it. This is a bit sad as well. So you have to be really careful in how you use your resources. There. This is becoming a bit of a defensive post. This one I'm not too worried about, although it could have been a really good factory of strong seedlings. This one, very slow seedlings, mid-strength, quite a lot of energy, has a flower protecting it, is probably useful to keep it. I'm not sure. I need to explore a bit more. It's very tempting to just start planting trees everywhere, but that will definitely cause issues. So let's have a quick look through debug. There. This gives me lots of info and asteroid names. You can see here trees are dying on enemy asteroids. I just want to have a look. Let me uncover some as well. Let me see. These are all the factions. Let's make them visible. And I'm going to stop the camera limitation so I can zoom out completely. Let's see. Did that work? Yeah. So this is the whole level. Whoa, whoa. And there is some activity. These guys here, oh, they have a lot of flowers, are slowly growing their empire. Here's my little ally asteroid. What else is there? That's odd. I thought I had more ally asteroids. Oh, hang on. Here's one. I suspect, yeah. Again, it's a weird bug. I don't know why this isn't becoming visible to me. But let's just say that as you explore, as you get deeper into it, you can find resources both on allied asteroids who then get added to your empire, or on enemy ones, like this one in particular, but you'd have to conquer it, which is of course not always that easy. So that's the idea behind the level, and I'm trying to make it not too hard. There's another level in this mode that is actually quite difficult, and I wanted to balance it out by a slightly more generic, like Euflorian level that just has this element of trees dying as a big part of why it's worthy of play. Sadly, the AI is not the smartest when it comes to this new game mode, and you can see they planted 3 trees, but they won't have the flowers to protect them. Having said that, they potentially can attack another asteroid that does have enough flowers and start using those. So all that might come out in the wash. We will have to see in playtesting. For now, I suspect it's a little bit too easy, but I need to put it out for testing. Look, they managed to do to get a flower. So there's all kinds of stuff still happening. This is one of the nice things about these kinds of procedural games with independent AI. There are turf wars all over the place. And remember, I don't actually know any of this. What I did earlier, I can reverse that. There we go, hide things that I don't actually know. There. This is what I really know. The rest is still hidden from me. And that's one of the exciting things about these kinds of levels, I think. You do need to go out and explore, otherwise you might run into nasty surprises. Right, I think I'll wrap it up for now. I might do more on this level later, but I thought a little show and tell on what I'm working on is a nice idea. Thank you for your time, and talk to you next time.